How much do you think about the way you look?
Every day. Just want to have a good appearance on like the public, and when I go out, you know, I want to have like a good reputation, like, you know, like just look good.
Yeah, same. Want to make sure I'm always looking good and sharp.
I think it's quite a lot due to like how much is talked about in social media. So I think that's probably like the main reason that a lot of people our age do.
And what would you call that?
I would call that mogging.
Yeah, whether we like it or not, physical appearance is something many of us think about a lot. And if you spend any time on social media, you might have come across a group of young men who take caring about their looks to the extreme. These guys call themselves Looksmaxxers, which is all about making yourself as attractive as possible using whatever means possible.
You can sag your pants down so that they conceal your heels, and you can tiptoe max.
Whether it's extreme diets, surgery,
Ascension inbound. Stay tuned.
or dangerous drugs. It's a movement that began in the dark corners of internet forums, where young men would blame their failures on their looks.
If you're not physically attractive, then you won't be able to really have lasting relationships with women. You won't really gain a lot of respect from people around you, and you're treated differently right off the bat.
But experts worry extreme looksmaxxing is making its way into the mainstream.
One of the things that we've seen over the past really couple of decades is a growing focus on individual success, and part of that is individual looks for both young men and young women. There's always been a real focus for young women around looks, but the kind of self-help industry has really started targeting young men as well. And the rise of social media and the rise of social media influencers have played a significant role in that.
There's a lot of underlying ideologies, and there's a lot of grifters who've taken, control of some of these fears and insecurities really that young men have.
Dr. Zach Seidler says while there are biases in our society that favour appearance, called the halo effect, a lot of what Looksmaxxers say is pseudoscience, which is stuff that sounds scientific but isn't.
Eye separation ratio or your mid-face ratio, for example, and then you're going to take all these measurements and calculate them into a final percentage harmony score.
And I think that the scientific lens is really important here, because young men are socialized into that like data-driven, logical rationalization perspective. There is very little emotionality in much of this content. This is black and white. This is how it is. And so that takes hold. That is a strong grip that is very hard to challenge.
They use a lot of really dodgy science to identify what is a good-looking man, and they have a whole bunch of measures, things like facial symmetry, jawline definition, and something called canalthal tilt, which is the angle of the outer corners of your eyes. And they try to measure these in a quantitative way, and then that defines whether you're good-looking enough or good-looking at all.
I'd probably rate you maybe a 3.7.
And so naturally, when you use such quantitative measures, it becomes a hierarchy thing.
You got mugged, baby!
This is Omegle, a website that takes all of the pseudoscience and turns it into a game.
I won! Yes!
Users are matched with a random, their face is scanned, scored and ranked, with the winner mogging and the loser getting mogged.
I just got mugged.
It's got some experts worried, not only because of the potential risk of chatting to strangers and sharing your biometric data, but because of the impact it's having on young people's mental health. Omegle says that it's aware of the concerns and that the platform is for over 18s only.
I think the hyper focus on looks and stuff is really damaging to just self-esteem, and they can get really self-conscious when the results that they see happening online don't really happen.
I think it's just another toxic beauty standard trend, to be honest. Because it's trending with so many people our age now. It's just how it was for kids in the early 2000s with what weight you should be, how your face should look, and all this makeup trends and stuff like that. I think it's just another one of those for people our age.
So I got this blush, it's shiny. You see, it could have a good effect or a bad effect. Bad effects, you could get low self-confidence. You could look at yourself in the mirror and be why can't I look like him? You could talk down to yourself. But in a good way, it could, you know, create more chances for you to like go to the gym or like take more care in how you look.
So there is good Looksmaxxing.
Yeah, but there's also bad side effects to it as well.
I feel like it go both ways, like the way you take it, like gym obviously, that would make you have more self-confidence, but if you do too much like different methods that online, you could lead to not liking the way you look or something.
There is a really, problematic outcome here whereby these young guys start to believe in many ways that there is potentially a solution to that, but there is no end point and the goalposts keep moving.
There is no validity to any of this. It's all pseudoscientific. And, you know, one of the things we should look back on is that, you know, what it means to be a good-looking person has changed throughout history. It's entirely subjective, and we all have good looks in different kinds of ways. And so the better thing is to be able to sort of focus on what works for you rather than believing in some particular perfect ideal.
I guess the ultimate question of it all is, do looks matter?
I think, sadly, looks do matter in this society. I don't think they should whatsoever.
I think pretty privilege is a really big thing and it's a real thing. But I think if you're happy with how you look, then it's completely fine.
Focus on the good things about yourself instead of comparing yourself to someone else.
You are who you are. There's no point getting annoyed about it. Just live.
Yeah, beauty, everyone's unique and beauty's unique.
Like beauty cycles through all different stuff too, so it's never going to be the same either, and I think you need to take yourself for who you are and just love yourself either way.